So, welcome to all of you. Namaskar. Uh, Teacher training program is running on from the 4th January. And on the second day of teacher training program, on the theme enhancing the teaching learning process, myself, Bindu Roy, I extend my hearty welcome to all of you on the second day teacher training program. The motive of this program, as all we know, the motive of this program is to improve and enhance the quality of teaching and learning environment. So we have conducted this program under the aegis of IQAC of DAV Centenary College. In the yesterday's session, we have listened Professor Ravinder Vinayak on the topic faculty empowerment through research orientation. Today, we will listen uh, keynote speaker, a renowned keynote speaker, the S.K. Bedi sir, who is adjunct professor in J.C. Bose University of Science and Technology, Faridabad. In the series of this training program, now I invite the IQAC coordinator, Mr. Mukesh Bansal sir, to invite the resource person of today's session. And the keynote speaker, the resource person, Dr. S.K. Bedi sir. Today, he will deliver lecture on the topic quality enhancement in teaching learning process. Now, mic over to Mr. Mukesh Bansal sir.
Thank you, Bindu ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Respected Professor Dr. S.K. Bedi ji, Dr. Officiating Principal, all the members of IQAC of DAV College, senior staff members, and all the participants. On behalf of the management, principal, faculty, and students of DAV Centenary College, Faridabad, I welcome our today's keynote speaker, Dr. S.K. Bedi ji. Sir, you are currently an adjunct professor at J.C. Bose University of Science and Technology, Faridabad. Formerly, you were dean at IMT Ghaziabad and director IMSAR, M.D.University Rohtak. You have doctorate in international business with strong background in economics, more than 40 years of postgraduate teaching experience, research and training experience at university level. You have guided more than 30 PhD theses in diverse areas. You have published a large number of research and policy papers in reputed journals and business dailies. You have conducted a large number of faculty development and management programs at senior level and conducted several training programs for large corporate organizations. You have played a key role in developing strategies for the growth and quality of several reputed higher education institutions as member of their board of governors and academic advisory councils. You have a deep expertise in curriculum designing, course articulation, and pedagogical innovations. You have celebrated author of a book on business environment. Sir, you have keen interest in contemporary economic and business affairs. You have delivered keynote addresses at several prestigious academic events. Now I invite you, sir, to deliver a talk on quality enhancement in teaching learning process. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Professor Mukesh, for your introduction. I hope the video is not on. I'm not able to uh, see the video part of this. I think if connectivity is what is coming in, so it is okay. I hope my voice is coming to you nicely.
You are
Yes, sir.
visible.
Voice is clear, sir. You are visible to all.
You are visible,
Ah,
sir.
okay. So first of all, a very happy New Year to all the colleagues at DAV Centenary College, and I congratulate you for starting the new year with a quality development program. For the faculty, I think this is something which needs to be a very regular affair because the world of education is changing very fast and bringing forth to us several expectations from time to time. So, quality in the teaching learning process is something uh, uh, which has been there right from the time the education got organized and the government started giving attention to this. There are several stakeholders in the educational process. Our primary stakeholder are the students and their parents who are coming to us with all the expectations. The students come in the hope that they will get some ethical and moral values. They will be updated in the domain, and with the passage of time and development of technology, they are looking at us as faculty that they would be able to work in the IT enabled environment and they will be able to possess the type of qualities which the corporate sectors is looking for. So right from while the schools are building fundamentals, so at the college level we are giving them rigorous training in the domain and trying to tell them that how they can apply their knowledge in actual problem solving and how to relate with the actual developments which are happening in the market to the curriculum which we are studying in the school. And in the process, you see, the whole set of pedagogical tools have developed. And uh, every teacher to me is a school by himself or herself. He has his own style of teaching, he has his own vision. So, if you ask me, I will say that every teacher is an institution unto himself or herself. People remember their colleges and universities as much they are remembering their individual teachers. Perhaps when it comes to individual teachers, when it comes to the transformation in the personality, or when the student remembers that how his career or intellectual growth it changed track altogether, then the first name is that of the teacher and the second name is that of the institution, and that is the impact which we have on the students. So today I will pick up what is contemporary, that is the online education which all of us are doing. Uh, when it comes to education, there are two aspects to this. One is we can say that the basic education process is the same, only the mode is different. That is a digital mode, and now the students are not coming because of the pandemic and we go by the instructions and face to face teaching, direct teaching is not taking place. So all of us have been driven into learning the digital tools, and it is not merely you see getting internet connectivity, opening the system and starting talking to the students. It is a very very different type of game where the students, both students as well as the faculty, are in different types of mindset. This mindset is different in direct classroom teaching and very different when it is online, though with the passage of time the difference with the between the two, it starts getting diminished, and it appears as if we are talking to the students as if they are physically present in the class. But that thing comes after a lot of time, when it just does not matter whether the student is personally before us or whether he is appearing before us online. Corporate sector has already tided over this kind of difference, so they are having their virtual meetings as comfortably as in the direct meeting on the round tables, and there is no difference between that, and several technologies are today available which enables all this. Now now that we are almost 100% in online teaching, and we were driven into it by the force of circumstances, whether we like it or we don't like it, but the point is we are into this, and we have to maximize, we have to optimize out of this. Right from the month of February or March, we have been continuously into this, and at every step we are learning how to mentor the students, how to hold the classes, how to hold demonstrations, how to yes, demonstration of the processes, and how we are taking the exams, doing internal assessment. Everything is happening online, sometimes perfectly, sometimes very imperfectly, but it is happening. Now, today, in this limited time which is available to us, we are together till 2 o'clock. I intend to share something on what is the global scenario on online education, what is the state of online education in India, what have been the drivers of online education growth, what are the basic issues in online teaching and learning from the side of the students as well as from the side of the faculty and from the institutional point of view also, and that what is going to be the future scenario. Is it going to be a temporary state that we don't want to learn beyond a particular point, or it is going to stay forever even when the pandemic is over? It is a question. And then we will see that if online education is here to stay, what we can possibly do at the institutional level, at the faculty level, and what are the trends in e-learning, you see, which are giving us the suggestions, which are giving us the cues that in which direction you see we should be moving. In a way, if we the type of literature which is appearing, if we try to look at it from a slightly different angle, then somewhere it strikes our mind that is it that online teaching learning has started encroaching upon the direct teaching sphere, because for online teaching and distance learning programs there are altogether separate set of institutions, separate technologies, people with a separate set of qualifications, and this online component is, as a matter of fact, growing much at a much faster rate as compared to the direct teaching component. Population will increase in the same way it has been increasing, but we should uh, slightly have a look at that how our students are shifting from direct teaching to the online mode, and what are the implications for institutions like us who were predominantly into direct teaching, but they were put into online teaching because of certain compulsions. So I am basically talking with reference to when the COVID will be over and we will return, we will come back to the normal times. Will we say bye bye to online education, for which we have already made several arrangements? We have invested into this type of education. What is it which the new education policy is saying, and how the governments are stepping into this type of education, and what is the pattern of student demand? These are some of the things. So my focus will be finally to come on to that if education is now a given for us, then what is it which we can do in order to bring quality into this type of education? Most of us, including myself, we have been into direct teaching and we have spent decades into that. But if you say that what is our experience in online education, then certainly my experience is less than 1 year. I might have taught for 45 years, but my experience in online education is less than 1 year, which is not even the probation period. So similarly, it could be for others. So, but we perhaps are somewhat better skilled at using our direct teaching methodologies, trying to apply it in the online mode. And sometimes we get frustrated because many of the things which are in direct teaching, they simply don't work in the online mode. So that perhaps is the thing which we want to address today. So with this kind of background, um, I I just want to say that this online teaching is not something which is a bolt from the blue, and suddenly some explosion took place and there was online education. You know that there have been correspondence courses, then there has been distance education. Indira Gandhi National Open University is there, and then online technologies have come, conferencing platforms have come. Right now we are using Zoom, and there are many other competitive platforms which are being used to connect the students, which are spread at various places. In fact, the technology is such that we can have our students globally, across the globe. My this session can be beamed. So that is the power of technology. And uh, and this distance education or online delivery, it has been greatly accelerated by the information technology, and that is in fact opening great opportunities, many diversified opportunities before us. And today I would say that not only the school education, but higher education and university education, uh, you see, this process of change has already started taking place in a big way. The speed of change could be a different question, but this is something which is very imminent, and it is going to happen. So at what rate it happens, that in fact remains to be seen, and we as faculty members, we have to be ready. Nobody knows, even I don't know, that it could be very much possible that after the COVID is over, the UGC or some other regulatory body may say that the minimum attendance requirement, which is like 60 or 75%, the students can have 25% of the attendance online, 50% direct, 25% online. And in that case, you never know, the institutions may be required to set up permanent online teaching infrastructures, and the students be allowed the flexibility to do a part of their learning at home. So anyway, there are many things happening in the corridors of the Ministry of Education, and how the things. And right now, the government is busy with several other affairs and issues, and education will take some time before it gets the attention of the government. I want to raise a few core questions about online education, and then in the course of my session I will try to give answers to that, and I will request you to form some answers in your own mind and try to give it to yourself, not only during the session, even after the session. These are the questions which were pestering my mind, so I thought I should give some words to them and share it with you. And my questions, they could as well be your questions, and there could be more questions to that. My first question is online education a compromised form of education? Is it something which is inferior to our direct teaching? Many of my friends says that online education is okay, this is what we are doing, but you see, direct teaching has its own charm, and online is just a very imperfect substitute of direct teaching. Many of my colleagues, they share with me, and initially I also thought that this is a very poor substitute of direct teaching, compared to when the student is before you and you are talking to him or her. It has an entirely different type of impact compared to when the student appears digitally before me. He is looking at my video, or just hearing my voice. My second question, which I have already shared with you, is that is uh, is the current phase of online education really temporary, being COVID linked, and will the whole system return to the same old fashion after the pandemic is over? This is a critical question. Everything was direct, particularly at the level of affiliated institutions. There were small online components which were there. We were engaging with the students online. Uh, but we came almost entirely online during the pandemic. So the question is, when this will be over, will we revert back to the same old system, or there will be something like a new normal for the case of in the case of higher education? The third question which is pestering my mind is, can the direct teaching methods be replicated in the online mode? That is the way we have been teaching our classes in the brick and mortar form. Can the same method be repeated in the online mode, or something else is required? My fourth question is that, is it possible to retain student attention and interest in online education? So many of my friends, they tell me, and I also myself experience, because I have taken a very large number of webinars and student classes are already happening online. You are also taking those classes, and you have your own experiences. But many of us, we feel that students are not, they are at their homes and still they are absent. They are absent from their homes. Earlier they were absent from classes. Now they are absent from their bedrooms. So they are not joining. They are very well at home, but not joining. Background noises are there. He is looking left and right. He is taking tea, and other family members will come and frequently interrupt him, and so on, and so that the student attention gets disrupted. So the point is that it is really possible that we should be able to retain student attention in online type of education. And my fifth question is online education an emerging threat to direct education, to which I referred just in the opening? Now, many of the questions will be answered together, or they will be hinted, or the issues relating to the questions, they will be exposed. And in the process, we will try to see that whether answers to these questions, they get formed, or how do they get formed in this process. I just want to spend about 5 minutes in telling that what is the global online scenario, because online is something which has a global reach. My this lecture, it can be, if Wi-Fi is there, my lecture can be seen in Antarctica also, in any part of the world, because these platforms, they have the wonderful reach. uh, Around the globe it can happen. Okay. So therefore it makes sense that we start uh, with the global scenarios, because the technology which we are having is also global in nature. We have bought this technology from the multinational company. Internet is something, it is a global phenomena. So I first of all want to say in this regard that even before the pandemic, the global e-learning market was already seeing a massive annual global growth. No friend of mine should be under any illusion that this online, uh, you see, it is the child of COVID-19. Absolutely not. Even 5, 7, 10 years earlier, this market has been tremendously growing, and it is expected that this market, by way of the fee revenues which the educational institutions are receiving, by the year 2025, the total revenue is expected to reach $350 billion. 350 is about 60% of the total foreign exchange reserves held by the government of India, by the Reserve Bank of India. And if we calculate the trend from 2018 to 2025, this will give us a compound annual growth rate of 9%. growth rate of 9%. Today, there are millions and millions of students all over the world which have joined the online courses, not during the COVID time, but much earlier than the COVID times. If you look up this, if you look up the statistics and Google that what was the total online enrollment in the year 2014, 15, 16, 17, you will find that it is in millions. And today the scenario is, even if my today is defined as the February of 2020, when the COVID, you see, it had not started on any meaningful scale. If that is my today, then at that point of time, just at the point of the start of COVID, around 60% of the US e-learning market share, it came from the content related online learning products, softwares, digital materials, videos, audio clips, and everything which could be, or in the form of the digital journals or digital books, which we call the online learning products. 60% of the total e-learning market share, it comes from those kinds of products, which simply says that how big is the value of the content, e-learning content which flows through these through the online channels. And another fact is that about 30% of the American students, they are enrolled in at least one online course. 30% is a substantial number. It is true that today 70% students, you see, they are enrolled in direct teaching programs, but 30% of the students, they are they are already into direct teaching program, direct education programs, but 30% of them, they are enrolled in the online courses, and this percentage is gradually increasing. And another disturbing fact is that about 99% of these students taking US online degree programs are physically located in that country. Now, today, USA is the leader in IT technology. And if that is the trend in USA, you can imagine that how this trend is supposed to spread in other countries of the world. And in Europe, this has already spread. Today, Germany is a leading country, you see, where online education is popular. And there, if I take the Germany's example, its online learning market is growing at a rate of something like 8.5%, while the country's economy is growing at 2%. This is 2019-20 data. Economy is growing at 2%, and online learning market is growing at 8.5%. So we can see that how this component is getting faster. And uh, most of the countries, the education policies which they have, there they specify that the digital learning, you see, that will be utilized to enhance the traditional higher education or the direct higher education which we are talking about. And the use of mobile phones, obviously, along with other devices, because all the devices are synced together. So students can receive the entire program on the mobile phone and do all the exercises, home assignments, examinations on the mobile phone. So that technology is also greatly helping them. Now let us come back to India. What is the position here? The first thing which we want to say is that online education is quite at an early stage, but the way it is growing, it is one can easily infer that over the next 5 years, that you see, this will be one of the very substantial components of higher education in the country. So the online education market in India was something like $250 million in the about 4 years ago, in 2016 or around that. The total market in terms of the revenue collection, I'm putting it in terms of dollars, so as some international comparison can also be facilitated. And it is expected that it will be something like, in the present year, the total revenue generated by the online education in India would be of the order of $2 billion, giving a compound annual growth rate of 52%. Because the things are at the initial stage, so percentages are bound to be higher. That is the statistical bias. But 52% annual growth is something which is quite noticeable. That from 2016, during this 5 year time span, if every year you are going at a rate of which is more than 50%, and if this trend continues over the next 5 years also, where the figures will reach is anybody's guess. And the total number of students which were enrolled into the online programs, they were just 1.6 million in 2016. 1.6 million means 16 lakh students were enrolled, and today their enrollment is 9.5 million. 95 lakh students, they are into the online programs. So whether they are the open universities, IGNOU, or they have joined some foreign programs, so most of them are those who are enrolled in the direct teaching programs, also in the direct you see in the brick and mortar institutions. But in addition to that, they are enrolled over there. But this number is so substantial. 9.5 million is a very substantial number. So had those courses been taught by the physical institutions over here, okay, then this revenue would have come to us. They would have been the students of the direct teaching programs, and they will have their own employment implications, educational growth, and so many things would have happened. So gradually, there is almost a landslide type of shift where the students are moving from direct teaching to the online mode. And particularly if you do some gender analysis, you see about 60% of the students which are online, they are girls, they are females. Maybe because they are geographically less mobile, or income is the constraint. Whatever the reason, that is what is happening. And this internet penetration in fact has been a great facilitator. So today there are something like 73 crore internet users in India. About half of the population has access to internet, and that has made these courses possible for them because they come at a very low price. Now, alongside that, there have been several government initiatives which all of us know. Many of the circulars from MHRD are coming to us, coming to colleges, and we are doing that. For example, MOOCs is one. All institutions are having their MOOCs courses. Teachers are developing the courses, and we have the Digital India, Skill India programs where the digital literacy is being spread. And then e-education is a program in which the schools are given the broadband connections and free Wi-Fi. And then there is a Prime Minister's e-Vidya program, which was launched only in May 2020, and where the top 100 universities were identified, and they were asked to offer the online courses. So because they are the top 100 universities, so now there has been a disruption in their continuity due to COVID. But when they come forward with the online courses, so because accreditation is not a problem, recognition is not a problem, and these top universities are already having the backing of highly qualified and skilled faculty. So the acceptability of the students with these online educational programs in the corporate sector or with other recruiters, you see, that is bound to be great. So all these are the losses to the direct teaching programs. So because already there is a huge demand, the point is that uh, there cannot be a gap in the market. If there is a demand for something, somebody from somewhere will arise and start fulfilling that need. That is fundamental economics. Market hates vacuum. Whenever there is a vacuum, somebody will arise. Gaps will not remain the gaps, they are always fulfilled. So, because there was a great dormant potential demand for online education, and many people, millions of students rather, were finding it difficulty to join the direct teaching programs. Either the good institutions were not available around the regions, where they are living, So therefore, joining a top university otherwise would be a dream, but online education makes it possible. So government stepped in, uh, and most of these universities are readying their programs for launching, and you never know that which direct education institutions will get affected to what extent. And at the same time, they are creating huge employment opportunities and additional income opportunities to the faculty also. Now, another thing which is happening apart from the government coming forward in online education is the corporate sector is also coming forward in a big way. They are developing content, they are developing pedagogies, they are investing, they are collaborating with the universities and colleges and imparting cutting edge programs which are needed by the industry. So because those people are from the industry, they know what are the industry requirements. So they are having the MOUs with the colleges and the universities and delivering the programs. So whether they are in the stock market or it in the area of some fundamental research or into the information technology or cloud computing or whatever, so they have the good list. So whether you talk of KPMG or IBM or TCS, they a large number of companies they have set up their own verticals. So they are the exclusive departments with them. So they are, you see, even Bombay Stock Exchange Institutes is running the stock market programs. So I have seen their course contact. I had talks with them also uh, about the courses, and they have the pan India presence, and thousands and thousands of students are enrolled. The point is that if the faculty in the direct teaching institution does not come forward to take up these job oriented cutting edge latest domain programs, then the industry will come forward and reap the market. It is like a crop, you see, which is now ready for cutting, ready for harvesting. So if the direct teaching institutions are not harvesting, then someone else will harvest. So this is the potential demand, it appears over there. So therefore this is happening, and in many cases it is a win-win situation. The college and the university also gains, and the companies are making good profits. They are making good profits. In the area of commerce, for example, KPMG offers several programs and independent course modules. So they have good acceptance in industry. So they will charge on program basis or per student basis, whatever, and then a full timetable is made. And the students, if for example a commerce student is having 6 courses in a particular year, so there will be twice a week there would be classes. Now online classes are taking place, and they will expose them to all the latest technology which is available, and they will also design the customized programs, that this is what the students are already studying, this is the curriculum, and related to that, taking that curriculum as the background, they are giving the latest areas for which there is a demand from the financial institutions, because they themselves are the recruiters, they understand the industry. So therefore this is happening. And you see, in educational, if you talk of educational technology, that is the IT tools which are being developed. There is a lot of crowd, they are developing the technology, selling them, not only in India but also abroad. Now, why this rapid growth of online education? One one of the very important factor is that they are very low price courses. They are very much affordable, public funding is available. Now this is a typical one sector. So if you allow me to use a little economics, this is an area where we say that where the marginal cost of reaching out to the student goes on declining continuously. If 100 students they join my program, my cost is not affected. So now, since the same cost is getting spread over a larger volume, my marginal cost of serving the student is less. It is like a radio station. You see, I have set up a broadcasting station. So if 10,000 more users they start tuning in their own mobile phone sets, my cost does not increase at all. So it's like that. So that brings the economies of scale. The larger the number of users, the larger the number of students in online education, The lower is my per unit cost. That allows the companies to reduce the fees, to reduce the prices. Not only the companies, even educational institutions. You look at the fees which the IGNOU is charging, and still there are many programs which are not giving a deficit to the government. So that is one side of this. There is one, if you look at the best teaching platforms, Coursera and Udemy, these are the two globally popular names where you can have, for example, a foreign exchange forecasting program. You see, this course can be done with only 12 or $13. Or for example, the exchange rate management, this program, or export management, or for example, social media marketing. So in that you can have a course which is as cheap as $9 or $10, and they will give you something like 20-25 world class sessions. And the people, the faculty which is delivering the lectures, they have been drawn from the best universities in the world, because their numbers are large. So therefore they are able to give a low price, and the student can learn the things at his or her own pace. But he has to clear the exam, only then the certification will be given. And those students who are ambitious, they want to go abroad, you see, there these degrees, they are very very helpful. So they are doing it on project management, on quality assurance, on even in hospital marketing. So the range is very big. So affordability, range, and particularly the young generation, the people who are in the age group 15 to 40 years. And this, you already know that 46% of India's population is in this age group. So there are many of them are very tech savvy people. So maybe because of the new generation, they are able to learn the things much more quickly than the people like us. We have to struggle a little more as compared to the young students. So there they find the online market to be very easy, and those of the students who are already in the jobs, so they can combine jobs with education. Otherwise, in direct teaching programs, it is either job or education. So there it is job and education. So or is replaced by and. So this is a, and moreover, there are many skills uh, which are directly linked to employability, and those modular courses, small add-on courses, they are provided by the institutions, not requiring the students to be physically present in classrooms, but they can have it at their own places. So there is a wide range of carefully selected videos, audio clips, and other kind of infographics where the students are given the real life feel. And particularly with the gamification and artificial intelligence coming into the picture, they are able to have a hand-on experience, because the control handle is with them. There are many training videos where you can, like a video game, you can control the outcomes. So that way the learning component is very high. This is something which is yet to come on a meaningful scale in the direct teaching institutions. Okay. So that is the reason that if I take the period from 2016 to 20, the total enrollment in online education, it has increased 6 times. 6 times increase in online enrollment during the last 4 years. So that is the thing. So now the government has even started opening the skill universities. So one university is already at Palwal. So Madam Jyoti, who was your colleague, she is there as professor. And in many other states, uh, these universities and skill development centers, they have been opened, and they are uh, they are using the online technologies in a big way. Now, the point is that if we want to make the online teaching effective, we will have to understand what are the issues. What are the issues which you and me are experiencing? Unless we know the issues, we cannot redress them properly. There are the issues, you see, which are related to the prolonged screen time, uh, physical health, emotional health, mental health. This is, you see, these are the issues in these areas which the students are experiencing. So now the students are even confronting what they call academic situation too much. They say we have it enough, teaching all the times, right from 9 in the morning to 3 or 4 in the evening. You see, the students start feeling that his brain, it has become wooden. He is unable to think anything else. So this monotony, it is leading to the decline in the learning pace. So maybe we have to keep in mind before we talk of improving our uh, uh, quality in online learning. So there are the issues which relate to the infrastructure and connectivity at home. There are noise distractions, attention deficit, discipline problem is there. He's not feeling himself to be ready for education. He's lazy. The student is lazy at home. Maybe some of these components may be seen in the faculty. With a cup of tea in the hand, I may not feel as active as I am when I stand in the classroom and I am addressing the class. I am formal. At home, I'm sitting very informally, with the family around. So all these things, you see, they reduce my readiness. And online etiquettes is another issue with the students. But one of the major issues is the emotional disconnect. It is the feeling that I am sitting at a distance. The teacher is away. I am sitting my home. Teacher is also sitting in his home. So there is a emotional disconnect. Digits are there. The text is there. Video is coming, and sometimes the videos are taken from YouTube or elsewhere. Student also has access to those YouTubes. Why I'm wasting the student time? If a student can access, why? If I'm a student, I will say, why don't you just tell me, give me the link that here there is a video and two, three more things that you see over there. Why you are engaging me and showing me the video which I can access in my own independent free time? So this is a question which leads us to think that we have to create something new for the student. We have to add value. We have to present the things in a way that the student really feels that yes, he is learning something. So so we are living in a world. For example, if I speak a sentence, you can find out whether it is my line or somebody else's line. You google it, and you see that surfing will tell you that this is the line not spoken by me, but this line was spoken by so and so in this particular book or on such and such occasion. So that way, today the student is very smart. He knows from where we are speaking, what are our references, from where we have taken the matter. So it is here that the reputation of the teacher is at stake. And unless he creates something fresh, something new, and presents in his own style, he is not going to be inspired by the faculty. And this is something we may be talking of 10% of top students or 15% of top students. Many of them, they may not be interested in the studies. Today they may not be interested, tomorrow they may be. And we as faculty would never know that when he has got interested in the studies. And whatever I teach is permanently on, you see, on IT platforms. It is a permanent record. In direct teaching, my lecture may not be recorded, but I am now talking to you on this platform. It is very much possible that you may record it, and this will be a permanent part for all the times to come. Okay, it will outlive me. It is possible. So that way we have to be here with a great sense of responsibility. And this is one of the major challenges, which means a lot of work to the faculty. People say that online teaching has made the work very easy and so on. Fine, it has become faster. But if you ask me as a faculty, my work is more than double. It is more than double. I have to present the things in a way that they are not copies. Whereas I can hide some notes copied from books, and I can put it in the attendance register, and from the lecture stand I can explain the things to the class. They are not looking on my pages. I am only writing on the board. But when I am online, you see, my everything is visible. Even my spelling mistakes can be seen by the students. So that way, my level of exposure is very big, and I have to be doubly alert on these things. And of course, extracurricular, co-curricular activities. um, uh, I won't say that they cannot be organized, but they will be organized in a different fashion. In the you see, when in the digital when the students are in the digital classroom. So here, so what would be the type of activities, how they will be organized, how they will be sequenced? This is something where the faculty groups, they have to sit, they have to design the activities, give it to the students, prepare the formats, and the IT technology, they have to sit with them. Maybe the institutions, they need to create some IT center which will support the faculty uh, in developing the content, developing the pedagogies, and address the issues, not just the issues relating to connectivity, but even, for example, if I want to show a diagram showing the price determination under oligopoly, I can draw the diagram in half a minute on the whiteboard. Fine. But when it comes to drawing digitally and then sending it across to the students, I will have to ask someone, please tell me that how I can draw the curves and the lines on the screen and send it to the students. Now my problem is that I cannot take a book and scan a copy and send it to the students. It will create an IPR issue. Somebody will send me a legal notice, and in all the books it is written that no part of the book should be transmitted electronically to anywhere without the permission of the author. So some publisher or the author can catch us. So that simply means that we have to develop our own material. We cannot go on asking for permissions from everywhere. And of course, there are places where they say that for educational purposes you can do this. But if you are showing a PPT, if you are showing a PPT and you forget to give a reference from where a particular slide or a diagram has been taken, you see, it can create certain unwarranted or unnecessary issues, and we have to be quite aware of that. We don't want to enter into that. So there are certain aspects of competition between direct teaching and online courses. And in management they say that uh, the best way to overcome an enemy is to make him a friend. Okay, then your one enemy is lost and one friend has been added. Now, if we in direct teaching institutions think that online education is becoming competition for us, then start doing what the online institutions are doing. Let us introduce the online, when all this COVID is over, let us introduce online content to supplement what we are teaching in the classes. So that way uh, we can stay connected with the students even when they are at home, address their additional problems, and the faculty will remain updated on the new tools which are coming in the market. Otherwise it is very difficult to beat online education programs because of the economies of scale, the price competition. They have the high quality updated content, and they have a collaborative delivery in association with the industry. There is flexibility in the pace of learning. There is a much wider range of courses. We are only teaching university dictated courses, and plus a few add-on courses which are given to us in the UGC list. But there, the range of courses which is available is fantastic. They can bring on board any faculty member and develop a something a 10 12 session module and launch it on their platform. And now they are coming with recognition and accreditation. So that way, you see, online has several technological advantages, and those advantages, they must be leveraged in direct education if we really want to stand vis-a-vis them. Today, the heat of competition may not be much, but tomorrow, you see, the things can be quite different. So if we really want that we should be able to um, take on to this online type of thing, then what is needed is the academic leadership. All of us, the faculty uh, has to accept this as a change and as a challenge, and The faculty, of course, at many institutions is very capable of doing all this, and their buy-in has to be there. And essential, you see, IT support has to be provided by the institutions. uh, for that, the necessary budgeting and the financial support, it has to be there. Their online assessment systems, procedures and evaluation, they have to be very fair to protect the credibility. And for that, some specialized faculty development programs can be organized, that how we can make the examination system which is online, how to make it foolproof. We have to address the you see, the IPR concerns. And uh, and particularly when we are teaching, we must be very familiar with the different tools of online teaching. um, on Zoom and even on Microsoft Teams, on G Suite of Google, you find there is one feature which is known as whiteboard. We must be able to use the whiteboard which is given by these conferencing platforms. So there we can draw the diagrams as we are drawing it in our classrooms. So the same feature is given online. So maybe some of us may. Uh, I also struggled a lot to learn a few things. Many things I still don't know, because these the range of technology is very big. So that way we are the slow learners, but we are learning. When the progress is steady, then ultimately we will reach Delhi. That is not a problem. So, and particularly because we are showing them the slides and PowerPoint presentations, we have to see that they are interesting. Our classes are interactive. Our sessions are not very long, so our time is properly sparsed. We give them the small modular lectures, you see, and then we can make our classes interactive and interesting. So, so in this limited time space, I think now it is the time for us to close. So in the end, I will say that online education should not be seen as a rival to direct teaching programs, but whatever is good in terms of technology, in terms of pedagogies, that should be absorbed in the direct teaching programs. Online education will never be able to replace the direct teaching program. This will never happen. At least in my lifetime, this will not happen. I am sure about this. But we can certainly enrich our direct teaching programs by making use of the tools and techniques which are available in online education. So thank you very much for being with me. Back to Professor Batkar.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your worthy and valuable words. And definitely, we will improve our teaching quality with the recommended suggestions by you. And now I invite respected Principal Ma'am, Dr. Savita Bhagat, to thank everyone. Now my mic over to Dr. Savita Bhagat. Hello.
I am not audible.
Hello? Yes, ma'am, you are audible. You are audible, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So, my heartfelt thanks to Dr. S.K. Bedi ji for delivering a talk on the much needed issue of online teaching and learning. He has tried to, in fact, remove many cobwebs surrounding the online teaching learning. He's absolutely right in pointing out that we have been way behind the global numbers in digital education. It is only due to COVID that it compelled us to go online. And here also people are thinking that it's a poor, substitute of face-to-face teaching. And many teachers, I find that they are not ready to realize the benefits of online learning. It's absolutely true that there are multiple benefits in terms of reach and in terms of saving costs when we teach online. My humble suggestion is that when we want to acquire education for the love of it and we want to enhance our knowledge and qualification, then online is the best medium, because many students who are working and who are, I mean, beyond the age of getting admission in some college or university, online and digital courses, medium. But for that, for the, I mean, the kind of colleges we are running, the kind of students we have in our colleges, where students just want to join the college for the fun of it, for having fun in the college, and just want to acquire degree. Engaging them on online platforms is pretty tough. कॉलेज में आते हैं जब क्लासेस में फेस टू फेस ही दे डोंट वांट टू अटेंड क्लासेस, दे वांट टू मिस देयर क्लासेस, somehow by cheating or by adopting some other means they want to get their degree. Or engaging them, sir, this is I mean, we are practically dealing with such students. That's why I can say that we are finding it very tough and very difficult to teach them online. It's another matter that teachers have adapted and teachers have adopted. As you were saying that you are also learning, technology is changing so fast कि हमें उसके साथ अपडेट करने में, अपग्रेड करने में टाइम लगता है. और because we are familiar with the, and we are used to that old system of teaching face to face, तो हमें वही ज़्यादा आसान और अच्छा लगता है. और उसमें जो बच्चों के साथ हमारी पर्सनल, आप भी कह रहे हैं एंड कंक्लूड आपने यही किया है कि दिस कैन नेवर रिप्लेस आई मीन ऑफलाइन लर्निंग. जो फेस टू फेस है, हमारी पर्सनल टीचिंग लर्निंग है, उसको ऑनलाइन कभी भी रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकता. और बेनिफिट्स हमें रियलाइज़ करने चाहिए दोनों तरफ से. आई थिंक ऑनलाइन के भी हैं और ऑफलाइन के भी हैं. और मैं तो कब से, जब आप कह रहे हो कोर्सेरा, खान अकेडमी, और I have been I mean sharing these platforms with my students. कितने सालों से मैं उनके साथ ये बात, since many years, जब से ये शुरू हुए कोर्सेज. और हम सब वहाँ से अच्छी अच्छी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ के कोर्सेज को और उनके लेक्चर्स को सुन सकते हैं, enjoy कर सकते हैं. But we are mature, we are adults, and we want to enhance our knowledge. Then we take recourse to this kind of online learning. लेकिन जो ग्रेजुएशन के लिए हमारे यहाँ नंबर्स आ रहे हैं, मोस्ट ऑफ दी स्टूडेंट्स आर फर्स्ट जनरेशन लर्नर्स, ऑल्सो दोज हु आर कमिंग टू कॉलेज फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम. तो उनके लिए ये ऑनलाइन वाला सिस्टम इतना अभी समझ नहीं आ रहा है. और फ़ायदे बहुत हैं, मैं समझ सकती हूँ. इवन students who belong to low income groups, those who cannot pay this much fee for their professional courses or regular courses in campuses, they can join these courses and they can benefit while working also. They can, I mean, make their earning and acquire their education also. तो हैं तो बड़े सारे फ़ायदे हैं. लेकिन इंडिया में अभी धीरे धीरे कनेक्टिविटी के इश्यूज हैं, लोगों के पास मोबाइल्स नहीं हैं. देयर आर सो मैनी इश्यूज विच वी आर फेसिंग इन कॉलेजेस. तो इन सब चीज़ों को ध्यान में रखते हुए, आई थिंक व्हाट यू हैव सेड इज़ वेरी प्रेशियस, इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड टीचर्स we'll all try to improve our education and we'll go in for blended kind of learning. Even ये कोविड ख़त्म भी हो जाता है, even then, but टीचर्स ने भी रियलाइज़ किया है, स्टूडेंट्स ने भी रियलाइज़ किया है कि अब आपके साथ हम इस समय बात कर पा रहे हैं. अदरवाइज आई मीन अगर वेदर ठीक नहीं है, मौसम कैसा है, एक्सट्रीम वेदर्स होते हैं, बच्चे कॉलेज आ नहीं सकते हैं, दूर रहते हैं, आ नहीं सकते हैं, तो हम बहुत सारे बच्चों को इस तरह से ऑनलाइन से आई मीन वी कैन टीच दैम, वो गैप्स पूरे हो सकते हैं. तो फ़ायदे और नुकसान दोनों तरफ हैं. द ओनली थिंग इज़ दैट वी हैव टू बी वेरी क्रिएटिव, वी हैव टू बी वेरी पैशनेट. चाहे टीचर्स का तो काम ही यही है कि टीचिंग फॉर द लव ऑफ इट. टीचिंग इज़ नॉट लाइक एनी अदर जॉब, नॉट लाइक अदर एनी अदर प्रोफेशन. इसमें बच्चों का सबसे पहले हमें सोचते हुए अपनी भी अपडेशन और अपनी भी नॉलेज की इन्हांसमेंट है, और बच्चों के साथ भी हम जो लेटेस्ट चीज़ें हमारे पास हों, हम बच्चों के साथ अच्छे तरीके से शेयर कर सकें. अब आप रिटायरमेंट के बाद भी एट दिस एज आप सारी लर्निंग कर रहे हैं, एंड यू आर टेकिंग वेबिनार्स एंड यू आर टेकिंग क्लासेस ऑनलाइन एंड यू आर लर्निंग ऑल द रोप्स. तो वी शुड ऑल टेक क्यू फ्रॉम यू, शुड ट्राई टू फॉलो इन योर फुट स्टेप्स. और मुझे लगता है कि कॉलेज के आज काफ़ी सारे टीचर्स ने ऑलमोस्ट ज्वाइन किया हुआ था. सो दे हैव लर्न देयर लेसन दैट फ्यूचर इज़ ऑफ डिजिटल लर्निंग, ऑफ ऑनलाइन लर्निंग, एंड कॉलेजेस ऐसे भी चलते रहेंगे. God willing, COVID जाएगा तो students will return to campuses also. So we'll have both modes, offline as well as online, और उनको blend करके we'll try to improve the quality of education जिस तरीके से भी हो सके, ताकि सब तरह के बच्चों को हम I mean उनकी requirements को पूरा कर सकें, and we are able to engage them in I mean some outcome based education, जिससे वाकई कुछ ना कुछ results निकल के आएँ. और एजुकेशन सिर्फ डिग्रीज के लिए ना रहे, बल्कि एजुकेशन for knowledge enhancement, education for skill formation, education for better human beings. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. कॉलेज की तरफ से डीएवी कॉलेज मैनेजिंग कमेटी की तरफ से सारे टीचर्स जिन्होंने ज्वाइन किया है उन सब की तरफ से सर many thanks, and I hope in future also we'll keep on having such interactions, some such meaningful interactions with you. धन्यवाद. Thank you so much.